Start a luminarian ceremony. My name is Pat Sullivan, and I'm going to speak here with you briefly about my history in relay and how I continue to relay every day and where I am at now in my relay for life. And I've been fortunate enough to speak here 3 years in a row, and this is one of my favorite relays, if not the favorite relay, because there's so much passion here, and every time I come out here, I get such a great reception from everybody here, and I feel like you're all in this journey together with me, and I'm going to get more into that here briefly. I was so happy to hear that Melissa Murray was out here today. She's a good friend of mine, Dorian Murray's mother, and I was so excited that she was here because she's been a huge inspiration in my life, along with her son Dorian and his father Chris, and I was really excited to hear that they were here, and I wish she was here with me right now, but I know she definitely wanted to stay here, and I heard she had a great speech earlier. So like I said, I've been involved in relay for 8 years. The past 6 years as a volunteer speaker, going around to any event, any relay I can, where I'll get a microphone and so I can tell my story and talk to people about what I've learned through relay. And Relay for Life has given me a second chance because my mother was diagnosed with cancer when I was 10 years old, and even though we went through all the treatments and did everything we should have done for 10 years, the cancer came back, and when it came back, I was at a point in my life where I had to make a decision, and that was, do I stay in college or do I go home and spend every minute with my mother, because I know my minutes are being counted now. So I ended up staying in college, and I did Relay for Life, and I'm so glad that I did, because Relay for Life has given me a reason every day to go out there and fight for my mother. And when she passed away, the last thing that she said to me was to keep my promise to her, was to always fight for her, never let her fight end. And every day that I get up and I'm ready to take on whatever life has for me, because I'm continuing her fight, I'm continuing her battle. She fought so hard, and when she was diagnosed with cancer the second time, we had two decisions. We either live with this cancer or we die with this cancer. And she decided that she was going to live, and we were going to live with it, and we we're going to make sure that every day counted, and make sure that every day we fought together to make sure that we were always smiling at the other day. No matter how she was feeling, being a mama's boy, I had to make sure that every day when she went to sleep, she had at least a smile on her face for 1 minute. And now that I'm here and she's not right next to me physically, I'm carrying on her fight. And it's my goal, it's my life's goal, to make sure that she continues her fight through me, and she'll always be surviving that way. Even though she's not here and she passed away 8 years ago, I will always consider her a survivor because I'm continuing her fight. I'll go anywhere where they'll let me speak. I've done over 120 relays where I've done the same speech, got up here and confessed that I'm a mama's boy, and I'm going to continue my mama's journey and her fight for her. And I'll do this as many times as I have to until we get to that point where I'm no longer needed because there's a cure for cancer, and I'm just up here telling funny stories. So that's what I'm after, is to get to that point where there's no cancer. Now, a funny story here is about Dorian, a little buddy who his mother spoke here earlier. Dorian, an 8-year-old boy from Wesley, Rhode Island, he had stage 4 cancer, and he had it for 4 years, the last 4 years of his life. And I was fortunate enough to know Dorian pretty well, and I was over his house one day, and this was probably about a week before he passed away. And this is really what's given me the extra motivation that I've needed in the past couple months of my life. I was sitting next to Dorian on the couch, and we're talking about Pokemon. I know nothing about Pokemon, but I'm trying to pretend like I do for the conversation, because he's really into this. And he's telling me about this new character he saw on TV, and all of a sudden he stops in the middle of this conversation, and he closes his eyes, and then he blows a kiss. I'm looking at him, I'm like, who are you blowing a kiss to? And he points at the clock, and it was 1:11 in the afternoon. So I thought about it for a second, and I'm like, are you doing that because it's 1:11? And he said, yeah, anytime the clock has 3 numbers in a row, or 4 numbers in a row, if it's 11:11, it's good luck. And you blow a kiss up to God, and you make a wish. So I said, okay, can anyone do this? And he said, anyone can do this, but it's your wish. You make your own wish, I make my own wish. We don't tell each other what the wishes are. I said, okay, and I said, these wishes come true? And he said, hopefully, but if they don't, then if your wish doesn't come true at 1:11, then you make the same wish at 2:22 and 3:33, and you keep making that wish until it comes true. So at 2:22, I take out my phone, so we had an extra set of 2s, so we made 2 wishes. And I said to Dorian, I said, what do you wish for? And he just smiled at me. And I said, do you make the same wish every single time? And he said, yes. Now, this is an 8-year-old boy who had cancer, and I don't need to tell everybody what his wish is. I'm pretty sure you know what he was wishing for every time he looked at that clock. And it broke my heart to sit there and think, my little buddy right here, he's 8 years old. He watches Pokemon every day. He should be worrying about if he misses Pokemon because he's outside playing, or if he's not going to get ice cream after dinner. That's what he should be worrying about. And instead, he's out here wishing that he no longer has what's the battle inside of him. He's wishing that he doesn't feel that pain. An 8-year-old boy sitting next to me is wishing that. And I'm sitting there and I'm speechless and I'm heartbroken thinking, how can this kid have this battle inside when I'm sitting here and I don't have these worries? I want to take these worries from him. And that really motivated me because Dorian might not be here physically. He might not be here physically with us, but he's here fighting with us. And I'm going to continue his fight. I'm going to make sure that every time I see that clock, I'm going to wish. And I'm going to wish that Dorian's wish comes true, and I'm going to keep fighting for him, for my mother, for him, for everyone else that we had who had passed away from cancer, because they can't make that wish. Because their wish may not have come true, I'm going to make it my life's goal to make sure that that wish comes true. And I cannot wait till we get to that point where I see 1:11 on the clock, and I just smile. And I'm sitting there thinking, I don't have a wish. Right? That's what we all want, to get to that point where we don't have a wish. We don't need that prayer. We don't need to sit there and pray for something that this cancer is going to go away and that this cancer is going to be rid of our people that have impacted by it. That's what I'm fighting for. My mother asked me to make a promise to continue her fight. My little buddy sat next to me wishing that his fight would end that way, not the way that it did, but that he wouldn't have it inside of him. And now his fight is my fight. I'm here fighting for my mother. I'm here fighting for Dorian. And I'm not relaying for life every year. I'm relaying for the rest of my life. And I'm not going to stop relaying until I no longer have to make that wish at 1:11. Please, everybody, join me in relaying for the rest of your lives. Don't let this fight end. Don't let the fight end tomorrow at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or whatever relay ends. Don't stop walking. Don't stop fighting. Carry your loved ones' fight with you. I guarantee that if you do that, if you continue fighting for your loved ones, you carry on their memory, you carry on their fight, they will always be a survivor. Don't lose your loved ones to cancer. When you say that, you let cancer win. I will never, ever say that I lost my mother, that I lost Dorian, anybody to cancer, because I haven't. I'm carrying on their fight, and as long as I'm carrying on their fight, they're surviving. Thank you, everybody. Wish you the best of luck here at Relay. Continue fighting, continue relaying, and God bless. Now I'd like